ZenFone 2. Hi folks, I'm on Android.com where we get on Android every day. Anyway, I've got the ASUS ZenFone 2. I know one of you requested this, so I ordered it the other day. Took only 3 days to ship from China to here. Let's go ahead and unbox this bad boy. Let's go do this, baby. Hi guys, so this is an exciting day. I've got the ZenFone 2 here. This is the 16 gigabyte model, the 2 gigs of RAM. Now there is a 4 gigs of RAM that's supposed to be better, but I cheaped out. I got the cheapest version. Now the good thing with this one, it does have a micro SD card, so you don't have to get more than 16 gigs. But I wish I did get the 4 gigabyte. But let me go ahead and unbox this bad boy. And I got this on eBay. Right now in the US, you can get this on eBay, obviously. And let's go ahead and open up the box. It has Intel inside, on the side, and it has battery 4G LTE. Now I don't know if it's compatible with the US 4G LTE, but we will find out here. And hotspot, HD, USB 4.0, camera, and let's do this, folks. So here's an arrow to pull out the phone, and this is actually a 5.5 inch display. It's got a 64-bit Intel chip, one of their newer mobile chips. Now I haven't actually used any of the Intel chips, but I know they've been working on it for the last 2 years, so it should be not too bad. But look at this beautiful phone. Out of the box, it feels very, very nice, very huge. And let me go ahead and compare it to my Nexus 6 right here real quick. All right, I just feel like it's about the same size as the Nexus 6. We'll find out here. It is actually slightly smaller than a Nexus 6. All right, that is very interesting. Let me go ahead and compare it. Let's go compare it with my Nexus 4. Wow, it's actually about the same size. It's actually slightly narrower and slightly shorter than the Note 4. So it's definitely in the phablet class. And let me give you a first hands-on field test real quick. Alright guys, sorry for the mess. Just phone's been flying to my office from all over the world. So let me give a field test. I'm gonna close my eyes, hold it with my right hand, which is the hand I hold it with. I'm gonna try to feel up any buttons here. Well, where's the buttons? Oh, maybe the buttons on the back. I feel the buttons on the back. I actually don't know where the buttons are. So there's no buttons. This is very nice for a large phone. One thing I noticed better than the Nexus 6 is that the buttons are on the back. I see the volume buttons, and I'm not sure where the power button is, maybe middle of this. But it feels really good, and I really like the button placement. This is obviously sort of like LG G3 and the G Flex 2. I love the button place on those because you're walking and stuff and you can just grab your phone and turn it on without having to like fiddle with it in any way. It's just right there and you can use the phone. But it does feel pretty big to me, so it's definitely a two-handed device, I think. But as you saw, it was actually smaller than my Note 4 and Nexus 6, so it should be a pretty good device. Anyway, field test, the back is very smooth. You can kind of hear that, right? So, but it feels pretty good in the hands. I mean, most of the newer phones like the LG G3, it's got that curved back, and the Nexus 6 and HTC One. I really like this because it makes it easy to hold the curve. But anyway, that was a quick field test. Pretty light phone. I kind of like it actually. All right, I closed my eyes for a little bit and everything looks a little bit colory. All right, so let's take a closer look. I actually missed the power button, so it is actually you have to kind of go like that to hit the power button. There's the camera. It's got two flash, sort of like the HTC One. It's got a two-color LED flash. It's got the volume buttons there, and it's got the speakers on the bottom right here. ZenFone Intel inside, looking very good. I'm trying to figure out where the SIM card slot is. On the bottom, there's a microphone and micro USB there. It actually has a removable back cover, I think. And boom shakalaka. Wow, that's actually pretty cool. I really like that option. Now there's option for 2 SIM cards. So I actually use AT&T and T-Mobile. I'm gonna go ahead and place my AT&T and T-Mobile SIM card, and we'll go ahead and power this up, this bad boy. And there's the micro SD card slot. Very exciting day. All right, guys, I don't know how the data is gonna work. This is actually my first dual SIM phone. I always actually wanted to get one since I have a bunch of SIM cards. This is gonna be great to use 2 networks at once. There we go. I've got my T-Mobile SIM card in there. It fits in nicely. It's got a little lever there. I'm gonna go ahead and put in my AT&T SIM card. All right, you can hear that little click. Did I hear the click? There we go. And it's in there, folks, and I'm gonna go ahead and power up this bad boy. This is gonna be great for those of you who travel often and you have you're a business owner, or maybe you work for a company and you need internet connection wherever you go and you travel a lot. This would be a great way to have AT&T and T-Mobile both on a same phone. So that way, sometimes T-Mobile coverage maybe not good. Maybe sometimes AT&T coverage may be good, but the internet speed sometimes really slow down in crowded areas, especially if you go to like shows like CES. Sometimes any of the one networks can go down based on my experience. So best way is actually I carry to those shows, I carry all 4 networks. But by having this phone, you don't need to carry 4 phones or swap out your SIM card. You'll be able to switch. Now, I don't know how the data will work. Does it automatically switch back and forth? That will be very interesting to see. Actually, my favorite brand for computers, laptops is actually ASUS. I actually only use ASUS. But this is good that they're actually coming out with better devices. Now, one thing with ASUS, they like to lock the bootloaders, especially with like the older Transformer Prime tablets. That's why I've kind of stayed away from them. If they can make it more open, make it easy to unlock, maybe like HTC, then I may start using it more often. I'm not sure about this device. I'll definitely have review of that. Android version 5.0, so it comes with the latest lollipop. All right, and let's see how much level I can get my first try. 0. Okay. All right, guys, I actually got to try this phone for a little bit, about a couple hours, and I can give you a mini review. Let me actually go ahead and zoom in here and show you that right now my phone is connected to AT&T and T-Mobile. Now let me go ahead and show you that in the settings. As you can see here, it's got my AT&T and my T-Mobile SIM, so you can take phone calls from both of your numbers. And here's the interesting part. Here's the kicker. If you go to cellular networks, go into access point names, you can go ahead and set access point name for SIM 1 or SIM 2. Now, the only thing bad about this dual SIM method is that you can only get data from the first SIM card slot. So right now, it's only using my HSPA on my AT&T. And also 4G LTE works for the US 4G LTE networks. That's the AT&T 4G LTE. It should also work on the T-Mobile 4G LTE. Now, it may not work on the older, what are those bands called? The older T-Mobile 4G LTE bands. It might not work on that. But otherwise, it works pretty good. And let me go ahead and show you some of the features. Now, the UI is pretty good. It is really fast. I haven't actually seen any slowdowns. And I actually ran Antutu real quick. I got about 43,000. Let me go ahead and show you that real quick. Performance actually is pretty good for doing most of the stuff, 42,000. So that puts it like sort of somewhat between Note 2 and Note 3 as far as performance. I'm actually kind of disappointed with the performance on this one. That's, also the display. If you look really close to the display, you can actually see some of the pixels and stuff. So compared to, let's say, like a Note 2, I mean, the screen itself is kind of, it's not the best. But for $220 you spend on this phone, it is actually a pretty good deal, I would say. And also for camera is actually pretty cool. It actually has manual mode, which you can control all of your stuff. All right, let me go ahead and show you the manual mode. This is pretty cool right here. You can actually change pretty much everything, including shutter speed. This actually has more controls than the HTC One M9. There we go. Go ahead and hit the settings button. You can go ahead and change the ISO, as you can see. Let's say I set it at 100. Also the shutter speed. This is really nice. All right. And also extra exposure thing here that you can control, and white balance. So It actually has more controls for the camera than any other phone I've tried. But the thing is, the camera itself isn't like the best camera out there. I think, what is it, 10 megapixel or 13 megapixel camera for the full crop. So it's not the best camera, but I really like the software. I'm actually looking forward to their high-end devices. But overall, for 220 bucks for a dual SIM phone, I mean, this is gonna be great. This summer, I'm actually going to Korea and Thailand. By having a dual SIM, I can carry one phone, put my Korean SIM in there, my Thai SIM in there. I don't need a separate phone, or I don't have to swap out the SIM card because I'm going to go back and forth between Korea and Thailand. So that way I can bring this phone. At least, I don't have to worry about any of that, which is kind of cool. So for 220 bucks, I mean, if you broke your phone or something and you need something cheap to get by until the next good one comes out, I mean, this is a great phone. Again, it's not the best phone you can buy. I mean, Galaxy S6 will beat the pants off this. But if you're looking for something that's affordable without buying a used phone or some older phone, this is actually not a bad deal. Now, the only thing I'm worried about is custom ROMs and rooting. I'm not sure. ASUS wasn't really good at any of that, so there may be some good support for it. Now, after trying this, I'm gonna definitely review some more budget phones for those of you interested in cheaper Android phones. Because last year I went to Thailand and I saw, if you go to the phone shops there, literally they don't sell iPhones there. The only thing they sell out there is iPhone clones. It was really interesting because they had like hundreds of different cheaper budget Android devices. So this is one of the better budget Android devices, I would have to say. Definitely cool device that you can do dual SIM. In the last couple hours I've been using, everything's fast. There's actually absolutely no lag whatsoever. The Antutu scores are kind of low. It's not as fast as I want. I mean, obviously because I've been using all of these fast phones, but for the money you spend, I mean, you can't get better than this. And add to the fact that it's got a removable back cover. You can also actually take the SIM out. You can actually deactivate the SIM and take the SIM out and switch it while the phone is on. That's because it's got two SIMs. So as long as you can actually, take it out and remove it. Make sure you deactivate it and then you can remove it while the phone is still on, which is really cool feature. All right, also there is a micro SD card. Now the material used on the back is kind of cheap. In the few hours I've had it, I already have a scratch that's not going to go away. So this material, it looks great, but it is actually pretty cheap stuff. But I mean, what can you expect from a $220 device? So overall, it's actually a pretty good device. If you don't want to spend more than 220 bucks, this is definitely the way to go. You can slap on like a 64 gig micro SD. You got enough storage there. The camera's decent, it's nothing like fantastic or anything like that. But the manual mode is kind of cool. And also there's a lot of software feature that looks pretty cool. I mean, I'll have to do a full review eventually. But for the last couple of days I've been using, it's pretty cool. And also it's got the theme feature. But there's actually no themes you can download, and this is actually the default theme. But I think ASUS is on a good start. I've always loved ASUS laptops because they always give you these high quality laptops for much lower price than other competition. ASUS, in that sense, ASUS is really doing well, just offering some affordable Android devices. I mean, this one I could just chuck it across the street and I don't have to worry about it. I'll just get another one. You can get 3 of these for price of a Galaxy S6. And a lot of you probably don't need the fastest performance. A lot of you probably don't need the best screen. A lot of you probably don't ever even play games. You just need a phone that's easy to type, large screen for viewing movies, Netflix, maybe just some light browsing. Then you actually don't really need any of those flagships. So in that sense, this is a pretty good phone. And as far as the resolution, I'm kind of disappointed. That's probably because I've been looking at 1440p screens for the last couple of weeks. All these new phones coming out. But this would be a great phone for students, anyone who's just graduated and just trying to, save some money. And also it's a great phone for traveling. Again, the dual SIM is great because you don't have to, when you're traveling, you could lose your phone easily. You don't have to worry about losing your phone. You can put 2 prepaid international SIM cards, travel, maybe you lose it somehow. No, don't have to worry about it, keep your main phone at home and bring this one aboard. That way you don't have to risk, losing your phone if you're traveling somewhere that's kind of dangerous or something. Overall, I'm pretty impressed for the money you spend that you can get all this. I mean, if you have the money to spend, definitely I probably wouldn't get this, but the dual SIM feature, I may get it even if I was a millionaire. but the dual SIM feature is definitely a great feature for globetrotters out there. I'll have a full review of this, but I'm gonna go ahead and use it as daily driver. I have all these $700 phones. I'm gonna use this $220 phone for a week, but I'm gonna do it for you guys. So definitely watch out for that review next week. And I am also working on the HTC One M8 review. I was supposed to do that today, but this came, and this crap phone came, and all of these other things came, so I wanted to do these videos since I just got them. All right, just a quick measure of the light. How bright is it? I've got the ZenFone 2 at its brightest, so let me go ahead and measure the white. So at its brightest, it's only 317 lux. So that is lower than most Android smartphones out right now. Also, that's pretty much the average brightness of a Galaxy S6. All right, let me go ahead and measure the brightness at black, and it's about 4 lux, I would say, just like the HTC One M9, because of the LCD display. Anyway, kind of getting long. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Anyway, thanks for watching this video. I'll have a full review. In the meanwhile, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe if you like this video, if you want more videos like this. And also follow me on Twitter, Facebook, or Google+. And as always, I'll stay on Android.